Here you all are, Tenno. Welcome, welcome. If you're stumbling across me or if you've moved with me over from the Clock app, this is Warframe Explored, a series here where I'm going to take the various things I've touched upon over on the Clock and providing more detail, more explanation, showing examples, explaining Warframes and weapons, maybe showing off some fashion framing, the true endgame. It'll be a bit more casual, and don't worry, I'm still going to post over on the Clock. Today is simple. We're going to take my most popular topic, as of the time of recording, and just go over it in more detail. Damage. First thing, I did not realize how few people knew this stuff. Like, my videos have been getting 200 to 500 views pretty consistently, but this one has over 4,000. Second, I have purchased a Mark I Bratton here, since it's available to all Tenno so long as you have 15,000 credits, which is, let's be honest, pennies. I've also used a Catalyst, to boost it so I can show you all the things that I mean in one go. Alright, that's enough stalling. Let's jump in. Damage is more complicated than most Tenno think. Just because the number says 100 doesn't mean that it'll do 100. Enemies have resistances, armors, overguard, and who knows how many other things, but even ignoring all of that, damage is still different on its own. First, did you know that you have 5 main types of damage? And no, I don't mean electric, cold, etc. No. Let's break this down. Number 1, weapon or base damage. This is the innate damage of most weapons and any mods that say just damage, like Serration here, with its max value being 165% of that base damage. Putting it on here boosts me from 18 to 47.7, which you can see over here on the left. All weapon types have a base damage mod, usually these silver blue ones, and then other mods that provide smaller boosts as well. Explore all the mods, Tennos. There's so many possible combinations. You've probably already used the base damage mods, they're fairly common, so let's move on to the elementals. Now, elemental mods is a sort of blanket term covering all the damage types from puncture to heat to magnetic and everything in between. A quick note here, if a weapon does not already have a physical damage type, puncture/impact, then adding mods of those damage types does nothing. Your non-physical elements, cold, heat, electric, toxin, as well as all their possible combinations, can be added with little to no restrictions. They're the more fun ones anyways. So now, let's add this toxin mod here with 90% boost, bringing us to a total of 90.6, as well as adding new toxin as a possible status to my weapons. I'll explain statuses and how they work on another video, so for now, just think of them as a boosted damage with some extra special flavors. Next up, multi-shot. Multi-shot is easiest to understand as for every shot you take, you fire extra shots at no additional ammo cost. So with a multi-shot of 1, you fire 1, but with a multi-shot of 2, you fire 2, and so on and so on. To sort of illustrate how this all works, I'm actually going to put this heat mod on first. Don't worry, it'll make sense in a moment. First thing that happens, the two elements here combine to make gas damage. But more importantly for this video, it bumps us up to 133.6. Remember that as I swap out this 90% heat for a smaller 60% multi-shot. See? Despite being 30% less, it brings us a higher total damage of 145. And this is the important thing here that all Tenno should know. These damage types, when being totaled up, are actually multiplied against each other, but the mods of the same types are added. So our 90% heat was added to our 90% toxin, but the 60% multi-shot was multiplied, making a higher total. Now, the next two types of main damage are a little bit different. Until now, you've been able to see the totals here on the side, but these two will be a bit harder to see. First up, critical damage. If you're unaware, every single weapon in Warframe has a critical chance percentage, which is simply how likely it is to be a critical hit. Critical hits come in 3 types: yellow, base, orange, big, and red, super crits. As you go up in type, the numbers get bigger. Pretty simple. How much extra damage they do is based off of this number, critical damage. So here on the Mark I Bratton, we have an 8% chance for a critical hit to do 1.5 times my normal damage. So if I increase that with my Vital Sense mod here, it'll boost that multiplier there, but you won't see that reflected down here. In missions, shooting every last thing that looks at you funny though, you'll start to see those big numbers. And finally, my least favorite type of damage, faction. Faction damage, as its name would suggest, is a damage that is boosted against one of the enemy factions. So in this case, Bane of Grineer gives me a 30% damage boost against Grineer, which is great if I'm going against Grineer, but it kinda sucks if I'm going against anything else. Now I can swap in any other faction mod if I know what missions I'm going to, as the missions do list the enemy types, but I'm lazy and forgetful, so I don't usually bother. Overall though, it's a good idea for making strong builds, especially in early game, or if you know you're going to be grinding against a certain enemy type for a while. And that's sort of the basic idea here. Base damage, elemental, multi-shot, crit damage, and faction damage. Having at least one of each of these on your weapons will make them considerably stronger. Now, I like crit builds more than any other, but status builds are just as powerful, and you'll never see me not putting elemental damage on absolutely everything, so let me know in the comments if I should break down how all those lovely elements work. Until next time, Tenno, go wreak havoc across the Origin system.